And now, America's most reasonable political commentator, Bob Kerrigan.
New York Times article about McCain has an interesting take by Republicans. And the writers are saying this: if there's no sex, there's no problem. Because that's kind of the Republican think machine's pitch. If there's no sex, there's no problem, talking about the lobbyist. No, the problem, you see, is not that there was no sex, which who knows whether there was or wasn't, really to me is irrelevant. The problem is that he used his power as a United States Senator to do the very thing that he said he wasn't going to do. The very thing he said he wasn't going to do. And after the Keating scandal, after the SNL debacle, when he was really embarrassed by it, he said, "This will never happen to me again. And when I go on with my career, I'm going to set the highest standard," which I think he has done for the most part. But this is a very big problem. And to have it discarded as if to say, if there's no sex, there's no problem, buys into the Republican response. No, it's a misuse of power, and of all people to misuse it for, this lobbyist client, which is an evangelical television station acquirer, of all people to try to get a TV license for, it would be Paxton. We're going to run this video now of this flaming moron, Billy Cunningham. So let's run it, and then we'll see what Senator McCain has to say when he was told what Cunningham had said. All right, we ready to go with that?
Now we have a hack Chicago-style daily politician who's picturing himself as change. When he gets done with you, all you're going to have in your pocket is change. At some point in the near future, the media, the stooges from the New York Times, CBS, the Clinton Broadcasting System, NBC, the Nobody But Clinton Network, the All Bill Clinton Channel ABC, and the Clinton News Network at some point is going to peel the bark off Barack Hussein Obama. That day will come. Then you'll know the truth about his business dealings with Resco, when he got sweetheart deals in Chicago, and the illegal loans that he received. At some point, the media will quit taking sides in this thing and maybe start covering Barack Hussein Obama the same way they covered Bush, the same way they covered Cheney, and the same way they cover every Republican. I look forward to that day when truth comes. I look forward to that.
It's my understanding before that I came in here that a person who was on the program before I spoke made some disparaging remarks about my two colleagues in the Senate, Senator Obama and Senator Clinton. I have repeatedly stated of my respect for Senator Obama and Senator Clinton, that I will treat them with respect. I will call them Senator. We will have a respectful debate, as I have said on hundreds of occasions. I regret any comments that may be made about these two individuals who are honorable Americans. We just have strong philosophical differences, and so I want to disassociate.
Here's what Sean Hannity said about this interchange here. He said, tonight on Hannity and Combs, we're going to debate the question, is it fair to call Senator Obama with his full name? And that's the issue, and that's what we're going to debate. The big issue now is it right and appropriate and fair to call him Barack Hussein Obama? Now, if anybody could possibly think that that's what the debate is about, after watching this clip of this film, but see, that is typically what Hannity does, and it's what Limbaugh does. It's the false dilemma. The false dilemma is, can we call people by their full name, or are we going to go and be governed by these wacky liberals that are ashamed and embarrassed of his middle name? What an idiot. What a complete idiot and a mischaracterization of this particular dispute. All right, let's go to the big problem for the Republicans and Karl Rove. And this is a huge, boiling problem, as big as interfering with the United States Department of Justice, firing United States attorneys who were competent and qualified and independent because they wouldn't play ball and prosecute Democrats the way Karl Rove wanted them prosecuted. Here they went after a governor, one of the most popular governors ever in Alabama, a Democrat elected in a strongly leaning Republican and voting Republican state. Here's the story. It was on 60 Minutes last night. I'm just going to talk about it in bits and pieces here. Is Don Siegelman in prison because he's a criminal or because he belonged to the wrong political party in Alabama? Siegelman, this is from CBS News. Siegelman is the former governor of Alabama, and he was the most successful Democrat in the Republican state, in that Republican state. But while he was governor, the U.S. Justice Department launched multiple investigations that went on year after year until finally a jury convicted Siegelman of bribery. Now, many Democrats and Republicans have become suspicious of the Justice Department's motivations. Now, a Republican lawyer from Alabama, Jim Simpson, has come forward to claim that the Siegelman prosecution was part of a 5-year secret campaign to ruin the government. Simpson told 60 Minutes she did what's called opposition research for the Republican Party. She says during a meeting in 2001, Karl Rove, President Bush's senior political advisor, asked her to try to catch Siegelman cheating on his wife. The Republicans always, this is their favorite pastime. Honestly, you know, it's not there's anything wrong about it. I guess they get kind of excited when they get into this stuff. I mean, the good part of it is that a lot of Republicans, men are having sex with women. I mean, there's quite a few of them that are, and I think that's one of the more positive things that have come out of this. Karl Rove asked you to take pictures of Siegelman? Peely asked. Yes, Simpson replied, in a compromising sexual position with one of his aides. Yes, if I could, Simpson says. She said she spied on Siegelman for months, but saw nothing. If she had gone to the bathroom stall, she could have found Larry Craig, however. Even though she was working as a Republican campaign operative, Simpson says she wanted to talk to 60 Minutes because Siegelman's prison sentence bothers her conscience. Oh, I'm sure. I got this at Truthout, truthout.org. It has the transcript of the entire conversation, of the entire program. And as I read it, I became more and more distressed because as a lawyer, probably the most unsettling thing that you see in other countries is the corruption of the judiciary. And in this country, we have such a wonderful judiciary, independent, honest, fair, and we've always felt that our United States attorneys were cut from the highest level of lawyers in public service, just like our state attorneys, our elected state attorney here, Curtis Gold, and now Bill Edens. I mean, people that just have stellar reputations for truth and fairness, and you expect that from the United States attorneys, and from state attorneys. And here we have an indication, a allegation, if you will, of a terrible level of corruption, where they focused on trying to eliminate political opposition with trumped-up charges. And I don't care if you're a Republican, a Democrat, a liberal, conservative, what difference does it make? It ought to bother you that we get to the bottom of this and that people responsible for this, that those people get indicted and that they have a chance to go before a jury and have a trial, and if convicted, that they go to prison. Because when you corrupt the judiciary, you destroy the country and the democracy. And that's the first thing that happens with foreign leaders is they corrupt the judiciary. The first thing they try to eliminate is an independent judiciary.